mamas, Alex here. If you clicked on this video, that means you're interested in my pregnancy symptoms and my journey so far. This video is gonna be TMI, but you know that because pregnancy isn't all unicorns and butterflies. But if you're not interested in hearing the not so pretty parts of pregnancy, don't watch this video. I'm trying to save you here. Alright, so if you're still here, that means you're interested. For my first trimester, and I'm including the before I knew I was pregnant part, not a whole lot has happened. What ended up happening was, it was around Christmas time. I don't know what happened for your Christmas in the year of 2016, but my Christmas, everybody was sick. Everybody. Santa Claus was sick. I mean, it was just bad. I was super groggy. I didn't want to listen to what anybody had to say. I was super tired, but I couldn't sleep. I had a bit of a stuffy nose, sort of a sore throat, but not really. I just didn't want to eat. So I was super tired, and so I'm going to count it though, because right after Christmas on New Year's, I tested positive. 6 days before my missed period. And I don't know if that's a record, but I was pretty sure the test was broken. So we took a few more tests and they ended up being true. So, first trimester was pretty easy, but there was one symptom that made everything not so good, and that was constipation. Now, I had not pooped in days. And if you don't poop for a few days, you fill up. And if you get so full, you start vomiting. They want to find another way to leave the body. So when I went to the doctor, they ended up pushing on my stomach and saying, "Oh yeah, you're constipated. And you just found out you're pregnant? Cause of constipation." Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think doctors like to say, it's pregnancy for everything. I mean everything. I was taking some prenatal pills that were super high in iron, and I guess the iron clogged me up. So my body wasn't doing so well with the balance of preparing for baby with prenatal pills and trying to keep everything regular. So yeah, I threw up and they ended up putting me on Miralax. Miralax is a powdered-like substance that you put in a drink, and it just goes through your body and forces you to poo. I could only take it in the mornings because any other time I took Miralax, it gave me the worst stomach ache. And I don't know if you've experienced gas pains, but that's what it felt like. It was almost worse than drinking like anything else. If it was normal, it was good. If it was mixed with Miralax, everything sucked. So I ended up taking it in the mornings because for some reason pregnancy made me a morning person, and that's when I was my strongest. But for the rest of that month, after everything got cleared up, I had zero vomiting, no nausea. But during that time, I could only eat chicken noodle soup and Miralax, so that sucked. For my second trimester, before we found out the gender, I developed a couple of symptoms. I got the super smell everybody talks about. Super smell wasn't very fun for me because I've got a couple of cats, so the litter boxes were a bit of a, I knew the second they went. So poor hubby had to clean the boxes every time they went. The next thing was I couldn't walk into the kitchen because the garbage can just made me feel sick. Like I couldn't eat. I was like, oh, this can't be good. But super smell didn't last that long. I think it only lasted maybe like 5 days, and then I went back to normal. So another thing that happened for my second trimester was I got PUPS, which is a rash-like symptom that appears out of nowhere that happens when you're carrying baby boys. Which, lo and behold, I found out I was carrying a baby boy. For some women, PUPS is a nightmare. It can cover your chest, it can get on your face, and it'll cover your entire stomach. And it almost looks like it's stretch marks times a million. and it's red and it's puffy and it's gross. For me, my pups was maybe just a couple tiny rashes on my arm, a couple tiny rashes on my stomach, one little rash on my chest, and they would just disappear, and then they would just show up in another place. But they were so tiny and so minimal. Nobody knew. The doctor wasn't even willing to be like, hey, you got pups, because, oh, it's gone now. Oh, it's coming back. But it's so minor. So I did get pups, which lately I haven't seen any, and I am currently 27 weeks pregnant, so yay me. But now, for my 3rd trimester, let me tell you how much fun it is. I don't have the vomiting like everyone says when the 1st trimester is a nightmare. But I can get there. First thing that started happening with my 3rd trimester was I got emotional. Everything broke my heart. TV commercials, somebody's feelings getting just slightly hurt, and TV makes me sad. The thought that my cats won't like the baby. The thought that the baby might not like me. The thought that the baby will like the husband more. The thought that, oh, because I'm a 1st-time mom, other moms are gonna be better with my kid, so he'll just fall in love with them. Or I got sad thinking that, well, if I don't like breastfeeding, I'm going to be just mommy shamed. I want to breastfeed, that's the goal, but if I don't, I'm not gonna beat myself up over it until I'm in that emotional phase of 3rd trimester where I just break down for very minimal reasons. And I'm not an angry pregnant person. Turns out I'm just sad. I'm just a sad pregnant person. If I am upset about something, I cry about it. But I wouldn't say I'm depressed because it goes away pretty fast, and I apologize and then I feel just like good as new. Next thing is nosebleeds. I have to sleep with an extra pillow to keep my head up because I get nosebleeds. That's new. I keep a humidifier on, so it just happens. Apparently the extra blood flow in your body going to the baby starts giving you nosebleeds. And most recently, when I brush my teeth, my mouth bleeds. But I went to the dentist and they said that everything's perfectly fine. So yeah, you're gonna have bleeding gums even if you floss, even if you have perfect teeth and get regular teeth cleanings. That happens. So another thing that happens is I get sleepy on 9 on the dot. Like, I need to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And sometimes it happens around 7, but for the most part it's 9. If I don't go to bed by 9, I get emotional, like I was talking about earlier. I've also noticed that I only tend to get emotional when it's past my bedtime. Now, what's weird for me is the fact that I have to go at 9 is I was a night owl. I could stay up past 3 a.m., no problem. But now I need to be in bed by 9 and I get up at 10. That's just routine now. Hopefully when the baby's born, I'll get my 3 a.m. skills back, but until then, I'm stuck on a routine. The next thing that happens is I get hand cramps. What happens is the blood tends to overflow inside my hand. They start cramping up, and so I need to add a heating pad or an ice pack and keep them elevated. It's very rare for me. It only happens in about high stress situations, or if I overwork myself, or if I've been around a lot of people, which I guess if you're an introvert can be a high stress situation. So shout out to all you introverted mommies out there. And about the last thing that has started happening is a little bit of chest pain. I went up a cup size or so. I was about a B, C cup. I'm now like a D cup. It depends on the bra. Sometimes it's bigger than that, but I don't want to take that kind of credit. I'm sure it'll go back. Maybe even shrink. I've heard of that too. But since milk started coming in, I've started getting a lot of pain sometimes, and they just require a massage. But yeah, another thing is I get round ligament pain, which is basically like period cramps mixed with Charlie horses, depending how bad it is. I had one time my right side hurt so bad I could not sleep. I wasn't sure if I needed to go to the doctor at that time, but it ended up going away when I finally used a pillow to reposition everything, and then I was able to sleep. And I haven't had that kind of pain in a long time. Last night, I had weird stuff happen. It was almost like first trimester stuff you'd experience. I was nauseous, couldn't eat supper, I was super thirsty, I was emotional, and it was past my bedtime, and I could not get comfortable. And just any type of thought made me think, I'm gonna puke. So I ended up having to find an alternative way, and there's this weird thing on YouTube called ASMR. I listen to chakra stuff that keeps you in balance, dream catcher stuff, and that calms me down, and that got me through it. Totally random thing, weird thing on YouTube. If it helps you, awesome, but definitely not something to brag about, because it's definitely an interesting thing on YouTube. But it did get me through the night. And my husband was being very diligent. He made the bed how I wanted. He'd add blankets, he'd take blankets off, he'd go grab the water. He understood my fears, because when I feel like I'm going to get sick, I get terrified. I'm so not okay with puking. So I've been very blessed with this pregnancy. But I've noticed for the first 2 trimesters, which were pretty easy in my opinion, 3rd trimester is showing to be quite the rival. It's not super hard, but when the events hit, they do hit hard, and it is definitely a challenge. Okay, so last thing is I'm going to show you my baby belly for what it looks like for me. I am 20 years old and I'm a first-time mom.